So that's the second entry of the Play Wild video blog. So networking, working on your own projects, and then again doing as much work experience and potentially courses as possible. Trying to just involve yourself in initiatives. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be related to wildlife filmmaking. Like, there's a lot of, especially in Bristol, lots of places like Watershed or other organizations that just voluntarily will take people who are passionate and want to do something in the media. But today I will speak about my great work experience in Icon. So I've been there for 2 weeks. I entered and I was a little bit sort of maybe intimidated. The Icon Films is amazing. It's the office is great. It's brilliant. It looks so modern and so creative. There is a lot of installations and art going on, and there's a creative space. There's a ping pong table, and people just look so nice and relaxed. And I love the whole design of the office. It definitely looks like a space that I would love to work in. It's organized greatly. And it's based in College Green, which is a really brilliant location in Bristol, and I love it. And I love walking there, and I love being there. And it's just the heart and center of Bristol, and it's amazing. But regarding the work experience itself, what have I done there? So basically, how I got it is I went on Icon's website. I've heard about the work experience scheme from one of the producers I met. I went on Icon's Films website. I have signed up, as in, like, I've sent an email to the email address that is on the website. I have received an email back with the application form, and then I sent back my application form. I made sure that it's like very elaborate, and I try to sell myself very well in that application form. And I waited quite a bit, because I waited probably about a month and a half or 2 months for a response, but then I was accepted, and I did it more or less in, I think, maybe March I applied. I got the note back in sort of May, and September was when my work experience was supposed to start. So there's quite a lot of, don't be put off by the fact that there's a lot of sort of waiting around, and make sure that you apply for things in advance, because it takes time. There's a lot of people trying to apply for stuff like this. So I got my placement, came to Icon Films, started as a part of an operations team. So I was shadowing runners. I was helping them doing their daily tasks, starting off from organizing kitchen and logging props to the system online, then maybe bringing the props down from their basement where the props are, and delivering them to the production teams. I did lots of research. So I've been quite lucky, because at the time when I was there, basically Icon Films does part of the production for BBC One show, and they were at the moment when 2 of their teams working on the One show has left, and they were left with very few people, so they needed lots of help. And I was very enthusiastic and very willing to help. So when I was given my first task, which was removing the paint from metal weights, so basically I sat down with like white spirit and just cleaned that paint off, but I was just happy to do it anyway. And then I came back to the forward planner from the One show, and I just offered him my help whenever he needs it. So he started asking me more and more to do some research for him, find some props, find some potential elements that we could use on that they could use on the shoot, and I helped them. I managed to successfully find some stuff for them, and after a couple of days I also mentioned if they need any help on the shoot, I would be really willing to go on a shoot, see how the shoot looks like, and obviously help. And lucky for me, they actually said, yeah, we need a person, and apparently I was very lucky, because it's not common for work experience to go on a shoot. It was a great experience. I worked with a great director, Steph Vessel, and great forward planner, Rob Searle, and the great cameraman, Alex Holden, and they all gave me amazing tips and advices. They also gave me a very good sort of references to my supervisor at the work experience at the time, which basically means a lot, because if you prove yourself while you're doing your tasks and you get good references, you get a good sort of like opinion from the people that you've worked with, it can greatly contribute to the fact whether you might be getting a job after this. And work experience, from what I've been told, is potentially one of the best ways to get a job in Icon. You come to a work experience, you prove yourself that you're worthy, and if they like you, whenever there is a contract coming up, you might be lucky enough to get it. One thing for me, and one thing that I've heard about from Icon and from another project that I'm going to be talking about later, BBC, driving license is so important, and I don't have one, and I've been told basically at the end of my work experience that if I'd have a driving license I could get a contract to sign right now, but I didn't have it. So I'm on an intense mission to get my driving license sorted within the next few months, hopefully, and be successful with my future potential jobs. But that's crucial thing, because if you want to be a runner, if you want to work in production, it's just crucial part. You will be driving a lot, and people just need it. But regarding another great opportunity I've had on my work experience is I've had a chance to chat with professionals from development and from production, because these were the two sort of areas I was interested in. So I spoke with Emma Walker about what are the good examples, what are the good features of a good proposal, how to write them, where she finds her for her sort of ideas, where she sourced them from. Yeah, so what Emma said is the best way to how to structure your ideas, what to base them on, is follow the news, follow what's happening in the politics, what's happening on the international arena, whether it's within the new science or technology or new laws or new environmental situations, whether maybe it could be old theme applying to a current state of things, or just keeping an eye on what's happening. She said Twitter is a good source of information for her. Also talking to people, listening to the radio in the morning, watching TV, watching lots of factual programs. That's what many people told me is if you want to make documentaries, then you gotta watch hell of a lot of documentaries and watch them analytically and analyze how they've been done, what was done there, what was achieved by it, and just all sorts of things like this. Exactly, knowing the difference between the channels and what the channels style and format and output is like, and what their audience is like, that's also very important. Where their ideas come from, she said it's sort of either a personal idea or it could be a brainstorm basing on the requirements from the channel. And then how they work is they usually have a few ideas going on, and they flip through them, and sometimes when they need to commission one, pitch one, then they develop this one particular one. And when the idea goes to a commissioner, it either could be rejected or accepted, or the commissioner could like the idea but could request a further research on it, or for like extending the proposal, and for example making a additional sort of videotape on it. And then if the commissioner likes it and wants to proceed with it, it gives it a green light. There is another book that greatly describes the whole process of development process I'm currently reading. It's called Green Lit, and that's a book that many people from the industry mentioned to me. So if you're interested in the development part and how to develop and pitch the ideas and how this whole process looks like in a big world of television, it's a good book. And then if it gets a green light, it moves to production part. So production team will then, as I have spoken to Rob Wotton, who is working on River Monsters in Icon Films, and he told me all of his knowledge, not all of it probably, but just some important stuff. So the team is expanding the research, and he said he himself is identifying the key sequences for the film or for the episode from the things that came out from this research. And broadening what is the knowledge about this program. So what are going to be, what the subjects are going to be, what the locations are going to be, and what is going to be what the accessibility of all of this is going to be like. And then sort of putting it into different pieces of sort of like particular stories, journeys, or legends. This all, my talk with Rob was based on River Monsters, on the program that he was working with. So like apart from that, also stories and people and just various parts. So they do it in the American hour style, so 42 minutes with 5 breaks. So they have 5 parts, and they need to work around those parts. So always sort of every part needs to be ended with this sort of cliffhanger. Don't reveal everything, and just keep the audience on hold and what's going to happen. And so that's how they work their story around. And yeah, so what they need to do is they need to, after developing a final proposal, so like a big piece, so that's something that they are going to be working with, they're going to start with script for TV. It all looks differently, but basically it is usually one side is for what's happening visually, and the other side, the other column, is what's happening in the audio. Sometimes you can get also a third column that has the information on the commentary, so additional information that might be useful to those shots. So he's developing the script. The script, as he says, it can change, it can develop, it can progress, and then again, while you're editing your program, the script can even change completely. Yeah, he says it's very important to be flexible with your script, and that's what other people say as well, because depending on how you're doing with your time, and maybe sometimes you just it's not always as great as you want things to be, and sometimes you just don't have enough time to film something, or you're just not able because, for example, a fish is not being caught, or it's not there, or you just spend so much time trying to film the fish that you don't have any more time to film other people or legends or stories or places. And it's just important to be flexible, being able to chuck away some parts, maybe add something, maybe work around them somehow. So that flexibility is important. And then what he says, it's really important to recognize the whole trip, the whole location before you go shooting there. And yeah, that's crucial also, to being able to go see how the things are, and then sort of put in your head the idea of how this shoot will be conducted. Potentially, if that's necessary, sketch a storyboard. Storyboard, basically, I haven't heard they are very popular because they are very expensive, which is great because my friend is a graphic designer, so I told her to get into it. But storyboards, they can be done especially if it's more sort of like a docudrama, or like to help people envision what is going to be happening on the screen. With wildlife, you can't really script or storyboard the wildlife, so it's just this, you're scripting more of the structure of the film, of the program, but you can't really script the wildlife. So yeah, he said he's greatly basing on proposal, then the key sequences. A good thing, I asked him what is a good technique of writing a script, and basically he told me that his favorite method is writing everything on a sticky notes. So writing different sequences, key sequences and ideas, and what's going to happen on different pieces of the story on different sticky notes. And they are mobile, so you can stick them around, change things around, move them, and it's because he is, and I am as well, so that's a great method for me, visual people, so it's easier to work around with something that you see and you can move it around. So yeah, that's my great experience with Icon. I love Icon. I will be trying to get back there and work with these people. People were lovely. So yeah, try to apply, try to find work experiences around you, and this is a great opportunity to meet people. I have learned over 2 weeks so much I have not learned probably over the last year. So that was a very good experience for me. And yeah, next thing for me is BBC face-to-face scheme that I know already I have gotten my placement on, but I will be talking about it more next time. So hope you found it useful, and get your camera, write some scripts, do some storyboards, and go make some film. Bye.